Hi, my name is Gemma. I'm a podcast Ripple creator, and I'll be leading today's conversation around docuseries episodes 5 through 7 and music videos we just watched from Manheim Township High School, River Rock Academy, and E.R. Martin. Thank you all for being here and talking more about your role in the program. Let's start by having each and every one of you introduce yourselves and what role you play in the program.
What's up, y'all? How you feeling? My name is Ijah, also known as Lassai. I'm a hip-hop artist from right here in Lancaster, and I'm an assistant facilitator with the Ripple Creators Program.
Hi everyone, I'm Joel Fiorentino. I'm a student intern down at The Mix, and I just graduated 8th grade and headed to McCaskey.
Hi everyone, I'm Stephanie Dorshmire, and I'm an emotional support teacher over at Manheim Township High School.
Hey everybody, and my name is Mr. Alex Goodman, and I am the former music teacher middle school at E.R. Martin.
Okay, so my first question is for Joel. What motivated you to join, and what were you expecting going in?
Maybe the opportunities that I was able to find and all the people that I met.
As a facilitator, what was your approach to making sure students felt seen and heard?
I actually really love this question because I feel like that's something that I felt like I was bringing to the program. A lot of you may not know, but I'm, I guess, the newest member of the team aside from Joel, right? And so I didn't really know what to expect, but I felt like for me the most important thing was to connect with each student and kind of build that relationship, because I feel like we're asking a lot of them, like, be vulnerable, be creative, like, and let's do it all in this fast amount of time. But to be able to create that space where they feel comfortable was important for me, and I felt like that was my main focus going into each cohort that I worked with.
What's one skill you learned that you'll use outside of the classroom?
It was definitely teamwork, and how teamwork can bring you a lot of things that you weren't expecting, like memories, opportunities, and much more.
What new strengths did you see your students discover about themselves, and in your opinion, how did students change from the first week to the final week?
Yeah, so my role was a little different. My supervisor who's back there, Mr. Paul Barr, he brought the program to Manheim Township High School. And then myself and Miss Robin Dorff, who also is back there, she's my right-hand woman. I couldn't have done it without her, so Robin, thank you. But we were the connection at the high school. So Mr. Paul Barr does the district, and so we were able to communicate together, him and I, to connect it to our kids. So we took a lot of our students that Miss Robin and I have in our class, the first cohort, and a bunch of them did that, and it was awesome to see them in the program because we actually took them to Rockleditz and PCAD, the first field trip, and we were able to just see them bloom. So a lot of them, some of them were really hesitant on doing it. Alex came in and presented what he was doing, but until they got in, it was awesome to see. The second cohort, which we have a bunch of them here tonight, I didn't have them in class, so I got to make connections with them through this program, which I'm appreciative of because I don't have them on a daily basis, but made connections with those students. And then what was the second question? Sorry.
In your opinion, how did students change from the first week to the final week?
Yeah, so I saw a lot of them talking. I mean, it's funny because after they made this music video's colors that we saw, Robin and I would go through the hallway and we would hear people just go colors and colors and colors. So it was actually really cool to see at the high school because yeah, we were too, yeah. And we have those students in our class and we see them on a daily basis, and sometimes it's really hard because when you're doing English and math, you don't see that same side of them, so knowing that there's that other side in it and seeing what Alex and Ijah and Tabitha do was just amazing for me as an educator. Because I had a different role. I don't know music. You don't want to hear me sing. But But it was cool, and it's funny, just a side note, my husband is here to support me, so thank you. I appreciate that. That was awesome. So he's here to see what I've brought home to talk about. But our little son, he's not little, he's 5, but he actually, when I showed it to my 3 kiddos, he was singing it. And then I actually took a video of it and brought it to the kids because he was like, colors and colors and colors, and I was just singing it. So it just was awesome. Like as an educator, it was just really cool to see what this program brought. The second cohort, I got to experience stuff with them and just to see where it's going. So, sorry that was long-winded.
So before I say my piece, I also have a 5-year-old.
Okay.
So I just wanted to say this before I say anything else, is that I hope that he has an opportunity like this. As a dad, as a parent, I really hope that he has that opportunity. Strengths that I saw in my students are bravery. Huge bravery. It takes a lot to get up in front of your peers, and let alone knowing that you're about to make a music video that your peers are going to be able to see on YouTube whenever they want. That's hard, and our kids, they took that head on, and I'm extremely proud of what they were able to put together. But also, my other big strength for them is independence. As a teacher, it's really hard to let go. As a parent, it's hard for me to let go. But getting to watch them just take ownership of the project. I gave them ideas here and there. If they asked for feedback, I gave them help, but it really came to a point where they were the ones making everything, and that for me was the most rewarding part as a teacher. And so as far as growing from the beginning to the end, they're hungry for more. And I think that's the coolest part that I've seen come out of it, is that they want to keep creating.
What challenges did your group face and how did they push through?
I feel like each group had different challenges, of course. For me, when I think about the first cohort of Manheim Township, that was my first experience with the Ripple Creators Program, so it's like ingrained in my head. I think me and Alex didn't really know how to approach, the kids, and kind of get them on board to understanding what we were trying to do. And so I feel like just kind of getting the ball rolling was a challenge with that cohort. I think the writing session, the creative writing session for that group in particular sticks like in my mind, because it was just so groundbreaking. Like once we kind of opened up and certain kids started sharing their story, it inspired other kids to share their story as well. And then it was just kind of like from there on out, it was just like smooth. And it was a challenge, but we overcame it. I feel like for E.R. Martin, you guys saw there was 2 songs in one. The challenge was kind of like there was so much energy and so many ideas and so much creativity off the rip that it was just like, okay, how do we balance all of this and how does everyone's idea get across? There were so many like ideas and so many talented kids. Like I was learning stuff along the way. I'm like, Joelle, how do you do this? Like they just knew so much. And so kind of trying to bring it all into one piece together, I feel like for that group was a challenge that we overcame.
For me, I was the engineer for one of the songs, so I think maybe engineering my part, but also adding my piece into a puzzle, like 2 big songs connecting into one, telling stories through people, like it's hard.
For us, I would say our challenges were a little different. It was kind of like what was going on the outside of what Ripple brought. We were faced with some of those challenges of some of our students having to go elsewhere due to different things or things like that. And then our second cohort, just being there for them and kind of giving them some positive feedback with both of them. But, some of them couldn't get rides or they had trouble being there. And we just all really worked together. Like, Alex and I would text, and I would try to go leave my class to go try to find the students. And, we all just really worked together. It was just awesome.
I think one of the big challenges that E.R. Martin had was when we went to Rock 10 Studios to go listen to what we had already laid down. They had a hard time listening to themselves in front of people that weren't part of the project. So when the sound engineer that was there was working with them, that was putting them on spot, and they had to go into a recording booth and fix some of the things that they wanted, to do well. And you heard in the video how some of the students were saying, I'm not satisfied with it unless it's my 100%. But it gave them that grit, and it had them, dive in and fix it. And for me, that was a really cool thing to see.
What surprised you most about yourself during the creative process?
What I'm able to accomplish if I set my mind to something, because there are a lot of kids who hold back and they aren't able to create what they want to because of what the others think. So I think it's what I was able to accomplish with this program.
What was the most powerful moment of the program for you?
For me, I keep going back to the writing session at that first cohort that I worked with, because there were just so many powerful stories that I had the privilege of hearing from some of the kids, and just to understand what they have been through, are going through, and have overcame, and then to see them take that and then put it into words and then record it, display it in front of everyone. It was my first time seeing the whole process, week 1 to week 8, from beginning to end. And so just that whole experience was powerful for me, and then I kind of knew what to generally expect from other cohorts.
I kind of have to agree with Miss Ijah, seeing what has happened from week 1 to 8. But for me, the most is seeing the end product, and then after the program ended, the friendships that were made.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Seeing that music video, I'm kind of anxious to see if we're gonna see our second Manheim Township cohort, because we didn't see the music video yet. But just seeing the way that came together after those 8 weeks.
And for me, there was a session that I couldn't make in the 8 weeks. So it was when they were really laying down their ideas, their lyrics and whatnot. And so I didn't really know what to expect. And it was fun for me to kind of step back and let Ijah and Alex kind of do their thing and see what they were going to do with the students. And I came back the following session and was just blown away. And it was humbling for me. It's important to let other people shine and let them do their thing. And the outcome of that project was phenomenal. And it's inspired me to keep growing as a teacher, and to try and stay on top of the craziness that is a recording studio and everything that goes along with that, in addition to my other responsibilities. So I'm thankful that my kids keep pushing me.
I just wanted to say thank you all for being a part of this conversation and for opening up about your journey through Ripple Creators program.